Hello, this is a longer video and won't be edited, but I might start over if I completely screw up here. So, first part of this video is going to be a build video for late endgame Swordfighter, just as an example of how that might work, and then we'll explain the components, even though this is intended for late endgame. Uh, and some of these components can kind of backtrack or fall into place for chaos and Bahamut difficulty, but it won't be as convenient or as high as what I'm about to do. So this video is the sword fighter, and I'm using monk as my second job, kind of as this we'll call it meta thing. I think that's what it's called, even though um, I digress. Uh, I think that's what other people would call it. So, Sword Fighter, I have a DLC class for the Divine Commander where it says decreases break gauge consumption for Soul Shield while active, and interception. It is uh, it's a counter attack where as long as I have the buff up and I soul shield and it's something that's blockable, I can counter attack and then I can quickly press that soul shield button again and get ready for the next one and counter attack and counter attack and counter attack. Um, and we can approach this in two different ways, but the way I did it was I'm trying to reduce my soul shield cost as much as I can. Uh, and instead of the, we'll call it refill the break gauge method, where you might have Berserker 120% and refill break gauge on attack on your gear. But instead, I'm reducing Soul Shield break cost. And we'll talk about our job affinities first, and then we'll get into the gear. So job affinities, I have stacked Assassin like crazy. Uh, at the end of the game, the 800% gives you more agility. Jobs that have a lot of agility natively will get even more agility out of this, but in my case, I'm using Sword Fighter. Sword Fighter has very balanced stats, so they could easily invest towards strength, stamina, intellect, agility, or spirit, and have effective sword routes on any of those routes, although it would feel or play a bit differently. Um, so for this assassin, some of the big things that are happening here are one, stacking that agility, two, the soul shield cost bonus, the 50% and the 120%. So I'm reducing my break gauge cost on of a successful soul shield by quite a bit. That also affects when you're just holding the soul shield button. So even if you don't succeed in soul shielding, just holding the button down, that reduces the cost of how much we lose. And then we have final moments. This will be a key component to the break damage that we end up dealing. As long as we don't get hurt, uh, we'll end up dealing a lot more break damage. And then we'll call it overkill that's starting to happen here, where I have Samurai 600% for the, oh, if I do a combo ability effect, I also trigger a successful parry. And because of Samurai 400%, a successful parry also causes my that ability to critical hit. Um, so I will be taking advantage of all that agility into a critical hit, and the hope is potentially breaking the enemy a lot faster. Whether I parry or not, or if I hit the enemy in the back or not, that critical hit will let me um, break the enemy a lot faster. And then from our sword fighter master points, so this is not on our gear. The sword fighter master points, I have 600% to keep our MP costs half, just to help us out here. even though it just says it doesn't say how much, but it's roughly 50% reduction in the end, um, using like the actual like full what does it feel like versus the formula is literally MP cost minus 100%, but um, in Team Ninja formula that is actually a half off reduction. And then we have the 400%. We get access to more combo abilities like Rogetsu, and we also increase the damage dealt of sword combo abilities, including interception. Uh, so just kind of talking of. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go over the last one, and then just for giggles, on occasion we might use Fencer's Soul, where we charge attack and zip across the room and try to slap someone and maybe follow up with some type of combo ability. And then we have the Hunter 400%, and this is something that I like for MP recovery on a multi-hitting class or job. So flat amount every time I do that interception, I smack the enemy, I get some MP back, and then, oops, did not mean to do whatever it is that I just did. And then I have Berserker just on the shield as a leftover, just to help a little bit refill the break gauge when I deal damage. Because sometimes I am going to get hit, and I won't be able to recover the break gauge um, super fast. But the hope is that I will have Soul Shield break cost stacked up to really help out. But let's talk about one more piece on the gear. So I could have had Summoner 400%, but instead I have this Trance Soul. And what that does is when I Soul Shield successfully, I refresh the buff duration just a little bit. So just to kind of pull that out, Trance Soul, successful Soul Shield increases the duration of active buffs. So my Interception, my Provoke, my Barrage, my Sentinel, even though Sentinel doesn't have a duration, my Sentinel is my enemy attacks deplete buffs counter, as well as Interception. They're both my little buffer. And Phoenix over. I'm sorry. Let me finish this. So Trance Soul. Uh, is how we call it quality of life. And then at that point, we're watching out for two different things. We're watching out for unblockable attacks, and then we're generally just soul shielding until the enemy is dead. And if we want to get a little bit more aggressive or cocky, we can try to go for a combo ability. Let's briefly talking. Oops, did it again. Let's briefly talking about talking. We are doing the talking. Combo ability effect, 600% for a samurai. What that is my second link where there's like that little circle on the left, and just above on the right in the center. I'm sorry, top center. It says vigorous sword. And it increases my physical damage dealt. Or this charged attack one, stagger nearby enemies. Or the rear attack one refills break gauge based on magic damage dealt. At this point, I don't specifically care which one it is, only that it's one of these circled effects. And as long as I hit the enemy with a normal attack before doing one of these combo abilities, that'll trigger Samurai 600%, which will trigger the critical hit and the parry effects. Um, and So just talking a bit about why that's important on my on the Swordfighter. Let's go down the category 3 and then backtrack up. My parry effect at this point is 84% parry MP recovery. That is a crap load of MP recovery that we'll have trickling in that'll help us fuel buffs and refuel interception. We'll call it a cushion, just to kind of get the blood flowing. As well as when we're getting ready, we'll call it to go on the counter offense, we are going to lock the enemy down with a really long-lasting dimension bringer, and we're going to get like 3 to 5 different combo abilities off on the enemy, and then we're going to start. We'll call it spamming our most effective one. But let's start at the top of the master points. I have agility maxed out as far as I can go for the sake of interception and agility stat bonus combo ability points like Rogetsu. And it happens to work out for critical hits when I do get a critical hit. So sometimes I might want to end the fight a lot faster, and I'll end up doing that. Swordfighter, trying to get up to 600%. So we have 80% natively from the job tree, and then we get the 520% here to build up to 600%. The damage taken at max HP, it doesn't actually need to be this high anymore, but I still have some of my gear sometimes does, and sometimes it doesn't have damage taken at max HP. And so in case I flip to another sword fighter build that's still agility based, I still want to cut the damage I take by half. And at this point, that doesn't that won't. It sounds like a lot, but at late end game without the proper mitigation, that's just still going to kill me. But at this point, I'm going to use Sentinel to buffer my survival and cut the damage that my Sentinel takes by half. The ability break damage dealt, that's just kind of left over. And the Soul Shield break cost, that is a key cornerstone part of this Sword Fighter build in particular. I am trying to avoid losing my break gauge from Soul Shielding. And then we have our gear effects. What do we have on our gear? I went for damage dealt sword combo ability and damage dealt interception. These both impact interception, your counterattacks. And whenever you see something that says damage dealt interception, that is impacting your interception, your grounded stance, and your Fang Fetter stance. It's impacting all three of those counterattacks. And then on top of that, damage dealt sword combo ability also, as of the third DLC, impacts all of that as well. So if you're playing the game after January 27th, 2023, you are also impacted by that even on the first playthrough. Except that that's not going to drop on the first playthrough. But on Chaos difficulty or onward, damage dealt sword combo ability also impacts interception. I'm sorry. And then I have agility because I'm trying to break the enemy with my stat bonuses. And by stat bonus, I mean these like slash and soar. Halfway down on the screen, it says stat bonus agility. So most of my attacks, if not all of them, are going to have an agility just so that I get to take advantage of the break damage that's dealing, as well as maybe a little bit of HP damage for normal enemies. That might be enough to finish them off without having to soul burst every single one. Pardon me? And then I have some damage taken at max HP. I don't know why. I thought I didn't have it in master points, and it turns out I did. And I just left it there. But for our purposes, we're just trying to get over 100% or negative. We're trying to get negative 100%. So I can't say over; it'd be under. But or yeah, we're trying to stack that stat up to 100%, and that's it. Because Square Enix in October of last year or 2022, they put some severe diminishing returns after 100%, and it's just not worth it. Although you can still try, but so 100% we'll cut the damage in half while you're at full HP. And our idea here is that if we're not at full HP, we're dead. So full HP or nothing. Status ailment resistance. I tried to get that to 100% across my gear as best as I could. Uh, I think I'm missing a few pieces. Okay, so yeah, between my accessory uh, and my sword and what else is there, and my gloves, I more or less have about 100% or more. Some of that is from the rat tails set from my job tree. I digress. This will make me immune to poison or silence, paralysis, petrification, slow. I'm immune to all that. So to me, it's absolutely worth it. Um, but I could also soul shield like a fiend and never have to deal with it. Except that sometimes I do slip up, and to me, that's a momentum loss to get silenced in the middle of all that without a way to deal with silence. And then for the rest of my gear, I tried to put Soul Shield break cost where I could fit it, uh, or some type of the highest break damage dealt that I can benefit from. So slash break damage dealt because I'm using a sword, constantly slashing. Uh, but sometimes you'll see I'm not actually wearing any pants. Um, so this doesn't actually have the E or equip sign by it. But my feet, I do have during Lightbringer break damage dealt because the goal of this build for our main form of offense is we're going to soul shield enough to make this dimension bringer last longer and cost less. So, um, hold on, let me see real quick. So, while this ability is set, a successful soul shield will increase your dimension count. Activating this ability consumes your dimension count to reduce max MP and extend the duration of this effect. So, more soul shields, longer dimension bringer, and that's going to be the time where we lock down the enemy and tear them apart. The side effect of this is that we lose access to interception except if we get hit, and that's not the interception that we want to do. I have Sentinel. I'm sorry. So backing up a bit, do we have anything else? No. Okay, yeah. So agility, just kind of going through this screen. Slash break damage dealt. Damage taken at max HP, trying to get that to 100%. Just a heads up, there is no limit to how much damage dealt or break damage dealt that you can stack. You can stack as much as you want. There's no diminishing returns in, we'll call it the depending on the terminology, versus damage taken at max HP. There absolutely are severe diminishing returns after 100%. Status ailment resistance, hard cap is 100%. Anything above that is wasted. Um, and you are immune to everything. Soul Shield break cost, soft cap, we'll say, is 100%, because at that point you will consume no break gauge while holding the Soul Shield button. And then beyond that, you'll actually start to recover break gauge. And as crazy as this sounds, you can recover Lightbringer on a successful Soul Shield while you're holding that, and even Chaos Bringer. It's weird. It probably meant to be fixed, and it never did. Or, well, yeah, we'll leave that alone. So, and then all the damage dealt, interception, and sword combo ability stacked up. That is where the bulk of my damage, or I say damage, damage dealt also impacts break damage dealt, and so you'll probably hear this if you end up watching some of the other videos as well. And I do apologize for this being long. It's going to be long and thorough, um, with the assumption that someone may not necessarily know how all these things interact, and might be able to learn something that applies to even an earlier difficulty, if you're kind of peeking ahead. Sentinel, it takes half of my current HP and turns that into a buffer. Uh, and I recently learned, thanks to Roos and Coma, that Sentinel does not get depleted from a trial called Enemy Attacks Deplete Buffs. So that is your mitigation on how you survive through those trials on other builds, depending. We'll call it a Sentinel Buff Bot, which is what my second job is going to be doing. Uh, and then I have Barrage, where each time I do that counterattack, if my agility is significantly higher than the enemy's, I'm going to get uh, a second hit, maybe a third, possibly a fourth. There's going to be bosses that are very fast, like Merilith or Black Knight, or Chimera, the first phase. And those or I think Astos, those bosses are going to be so fast that I'm barely going to get a second hit in there from Barrage. Where slower bosses like Iron Giant or the DLC 1 boss, which we might end up seeing, so kind of heads up, spoiler alert, if you watch past the build part of this video, because I don't know what boss I'm going to come up against. Um, so yeah, slower bosses, you'll end up countering them multiple times. And the good thing is your hunter, 400%. When you do get that extra hit in, that counts, and you get a flat amount of MP back. So your counterattacks, you might end up hitting multiple times, and that'll be great. Um, and then I have Provoke because I have teammates that are serving as my stat sticks, and I want them to survive, and I want the enemy's attention on me so that I can soul shield more often, so that I can keep my buffs up from this onion gauntlets or this trance soul, as well as take advantage of all that friggin' break soul shield break gauge that I have, and also build stacks for a Dimension Bringer, so that when I drop that Dimension Bringer, it's going to be the end of that round. Okay. Now let's look at the sub job. So the sub job, uh, well, one, you can see on the right side of my screen I have 21,000 HP. So when I do my Sentinel, it's going to be half of that HP. But I did stack a crap load of improved effect Sentinel on my gear where I could. And so as a result, and I also tried to reduce the cost of my Sentinels. As a result, I have a bit more cushion in case I hit or get hit by an unblockable attack. Um, so my Sentinel, more or less, is going to cover me for some amount past 20,000 HP. And then on top of that, my because I have the damage taken half off, and then I have Provoke on top of that. That's multiplicative, um, a different bucket, if you will, of mitigation. So um, half reduction, and then 1/5 reduction. I don't know what that comes up to because I can't really math. I'm sorry, this is going to bug me all day. So let's do that. And then, okay, so it's going to feel like a 60% reduction in the end against my 20,000 HP plus Sentinel, which I think was actually, with the amount that I have stacked up, that's probably going to feel more like 30,000. So that might feel like a 30,000 HP Sentinel that the enemy has to break through with the 60% mitigation. And believe it or not, they will break through that. But that is my safety net so that I don't completely get one shot when BK pulls out his gun and shoots me in the face. So, and I'm not exaggerating. So, Monk, Master. I chose Monk because of two things. One, they get a lot of HP. Okay, multiple things. One, they get a lot of HP. Two, I can spend Master points to get Monk 400%, which gives me even more HP 50% more HP. Uh, and then the muscle belt. I'm sorry, why I chose monk. And why I chose monk for the offense, supercharge, or in this case, focus. Even though it says that it's only affecting break damage, it also affects your regular damage dealt as well. But that's not why I chose it. If you absolutely want regular HP damage, that's when you would choose Hunter and the Machinist instead. Uh, and if you're going for HP damage, then you would choose Strength over Agility. Or both, because you might be using Barrage. But different build, different time. We'll talk about that some other video. So, Monk, that focus, um, as of the third DLC patch, that whole patch, you don't actually have to have the DLC to take advantage of this. That is a 60% break damage dealt increase and the damage dealt increase. And then that's just the first charge. You don't even need to fully charge it to the third or the fourth. Master lets you charge it to the fourth. The fourth charge is a 120% break damage dealt or damage dealt increase, both of them. And and then if you stack gear like improved effect focus, that makes that even greater than before. I don't fully know the math behind that right now, but I'm getting over like 240% if I fully charge up or more of the damage dealt and break damage dealt. And that makes a larger difference because my stats are not as high for late end game content. So all of those extra percentages really push my effectiveness even higher. And then I have so improved effect Sentinel, improved effect Focus where I could, and then I also have HP on my gear to help out with Sentinel, and then I have buff duration and Lightbringer duration. Buff duration so that my barrage doesn't just last 15 seconds, but maybe it might last as long as how much buff duration do I actually have? Uh, my instead of 15 seconds, I get about 30 seconds out of a barrage, and as long as I soul shield that, I get to refresh some of that duration back. Same thing with provoke. Instead of 30 seconds, it lasts 60 seconds, and focus instead of 30 seconds, also 60 seconds. And then, pardon me, and then sentinel doesn't actually have a duration, um, which is why the enemy attack deplete buffs duration doesn't impact it, which is probably an oversight. But we'll take advantage of it. But not every oversight. Um, and then I have the MP cost focus just because the initial activation of focus is kind of inconvenient, and sometimes I like to chain cancel my way back up to full MP. But that's not going to happen this run because I got rid of Gambler. And then the MP cost Sentinel, that's just to help offset when there's command ability trials. Sentinel is like 200 MP, or 2 bars, and that's going to cut it down to 1.5 bars. And then on top of that, we have Void Knight, 400%, which is reducing everything by, uh, it might feel like a 25% reduction in the end, even though the number itself is negative 33%. It's just the way the formula works. Yeah. And then Lightbringer duration, so that this Dimension Bringer, instead of lasting like only 2 or 3 or 4 seconds, it might last 8 seconds. But then if we fully Soul Shield our way up, instead of it lasting maybe 18 seconds, it's going to last, in this case, up to 50 seconds as long as the enemy is inside that bubble. And while that sounds like a long time, there's also Dragon Trials like buff duration, which, for some reason, Lightbringer, it does not get impacted by your buff duration, but it does get negatively impacted by the trial's buff duration. So that 50 seconds, that'll get smacked down, and it'll feel more like 30 seconds again. So, a little bit of a tug of war there. But the idea or the hope is that we tactically place the enemy while they're finishing some type of animation, while they're vulnerable, Dimension Bringer, and then we go to town with Swordfighter. We'll probably end up Rogetsuing and Slash and soaring all over the place, and Sora, no, and Knight's Gambit, Swift Slash, and all this other good stuff. We'll end up taking them out during that time. And I was like, Ben, oh my gosh, can you just show us the video? Show us the video. Show us how it works. Um, Sorry, getting a bit confused. Uh, so yeah, I am probably the most vulnerable when I'm on the monk because I have no damage mitigation. I'm sorry, not no. I have like 30% damage mitigation, but the hope is that Sentinel will still cover me during such a time. Also, it doesn't have to be staff. Oh, that's the other thing. Uh, the gear does not have to be perfect for this build to work. I just happen to have high values and high rolls across the board. But you do not need, like, looking at this right here, I'm stacking Assassin and Samurai in excess because I'm like, what else am I going to put it in? So I threw it there. Where your second job, the core things that we want out of here are going to be monk 600%, sorry, 400%. So I got that from my master points. And then I, in particular, like having a way to chain cancel my way back up to full MP if I need to on the world map. So 120% for summoner. Uh, but I think I did go up to 600% in case I need to Lightbringer. Cyclic Warrior, 600%. This triggers a Soul Shield uh, whenever you use Lightbringer or Dimension Bringer. Um, and in this case, the combination of, see in the bottom right corner where it says Leviathan, increases MP recovery and max MP gained on a successful Soul Shield. You're going to hear this almost every video that I end up using this type of Lightbringer or Dimension Bringer. Um, that will trigger the Soul Shield, trigger all that extra max MP recovery, and in combination with Evoker 120%, don't ask me why this works, as well as Void Knight 120% and the 400%. Oops. Uh, the 120% is the increase MP boost limit rate as well as the 50%. Um, all of that in conjunction with, and the final step in the process here, are my category 4 master points for increase MP boost limit rate. That is going to make my Dimension Bringers, if there's no trials, cost 0 MP. I'm sorry, let me back up. It's going to cost MP, but it's going to refund so much that it'll feel like I didn't spend anything. And then I like to have Lightbringer duration because I'm going to be Lightbringering enough. And buff duration. Uh, but while we're here, Monk, I threw in an HP, Monk Job Affinity, Lightbringer duration. If you don't have any Soul Shield MP recovery on your gear, maybe throw that in there so it's about 40%, just so that you do get some MP back. And I think I've been talking so long that I just want to I just want to kill something. So we just threw Neon in here for now. I'm sorry, we're not finished yet. We're not done. We're not done. We're not done. Um, so NPCs, if you're open to using NPCs, we're gonna call them stat sticks. We have them both equipped with Lionheart, which is invincible every time you press your direction pad left or right. And so while they're invincible, I'm deciding to stack a crap load of Lightbringer duration so that they might be, we'll call it sturdy for about 50 seconds. They have the old school invincible, so they cannot die for about 50 seconds while that's happening. It depends on the Lightbringer duration. So yeah, that's how we're gonna help them survive. They're not actually going to. We're not relying on them to defeat enemies. Although Jed probably could. Um, like if he crits something, he's going to break a regular monster. But I digress. We'll keep go. Just looking at this, we have Liberator. The most important part about a stat stick is Liberator 600%. It shares 12% of their stats with you, even though it does not show up on your UI. And the only way you'd see how much stats you're actually getting is if you were on PC with some type of like hex editor or something like Cheat Engine where you can actually see the true value of your stats behind the scene getting impacted by this. Um, so but if they die, you don't get that buff. So this is to give me 12% of their stats. Sophia, I didn't optimize her for pure agility. I was working on a different build that had strength and agility, so kind of the heads up there. Jed, I can. Uh, he has some strength and crap left over for a different build. And then, if you're trying to squeeze agility in this case out of these characters, uh, assassin, ninja, and samurai, and I think even duelist and thief. Okay, you know what, Jed's just a great pick for squeezing agility out because all this gear, the Shiva at the bottom, Sylph, Fenrir, those are all high agility pieces of gear. Those relics, you get agility based on that percentage, along with some other stats. Um, where like so ninja gets less, samurai gets less, thief fair amount. So for the most part, he's good to go. Stacking after you get 600% liberator, stack assassin and samurai on as many pieces as you can get. Squeeze that crap up, and he'll pass off 12% of that agility over to you. Again, does not show up on your screen. Pardon me. Oh crap! I am sick. Uh, we'll keep going before the sickness wears it. um, Sophia, just kind of looking at her, we did Liberator 600% as well. I had a two-piece gear, wasn't paying attention, stacked it all up, whatever, keep going. And ideally, I would have had Assassin on every piece of gear, and then Samurai on every piece of gear uh, to get more agility. It could be Samurai, it could be Ninja. Uh, either one of those gets a crapload of agility. I think even Thief and Duelist would have been fine, but Assassin gives you the most agility as you stacked it up. But just kind of a heads up. Look at the agility on the right, 614, and if I go to Black Mage, I lose a crapload. But Breaker looks like they actually get a little. They get more agility than the other two jobs. So in this case, I chose Dragoon, but I also could have chosen Ash with with Pugilists, but I ended up not. Oh, well, it looks like Monk would have gotten a decent amount of agility too. Tyrant a little bit less. Oh shoot! Even Berserker gets more agility than Liberator, but yeah. So um, choosing those two as stat sticks as long as they live, and I'm trying to protect them even though they're invincible. So we'll go in here and we're going to fight our favorite boss. We're going to turn some trials up because we just to feel a little bit of pain here. Um, but not we're not turning everything up because I don't want to completely just like get killed. Especially buff duration. I hate that so much. Because I like convenience sometimes. We're gonna try it out with Tiamat. Hey there, Tiamat. And then I do like to do my little soul shield thing, and unfortunately, I got rid of Gambler, so this kind of sucks. But I am chain canceling with Summoner 120%. That becomes available on the latter half of the first DLC. There's a different video that talks about this a bit more. And then there's an orb that we're just going to talk to it so that it never appears in future videos. Once upon a time, there was a woman who was torment. Okay, so we are going to get the buff out of the way that has no buff duration, which is great. And then we're going to charge up, cast Provoke, Barrage, Dimension Bringer, get in there, D-pad left and right. Holy cow! I screwed up on that one. So, you can kind of tell from the lack of breathing. Okay, let's get this back in here. Okay, we're gonna refresh Interception, and then we're going to drop a Dimension Bringer on her. Oops, I forgot. We can't actually, we can't Soul Shield. And so she's done, still in the Dimension Bringer bubble, and we're just kind of letting that play out. But for the most part, you Soul Shield your way through the first half of the fight, and then you take her out, or you take them out on the second half. In the Rift, this goes a lot faster because you have the monsters, and you have a crapload more agility. And then on top of that, your allies get that agility, which they give 12% of that back to you. And, 240 doesn't sound like a lot of agility if you take it like 12%. I think that's like what, like 28. But well, it helps. It absolutely does help. I am going to turn one of these trials down because I think I don't like it. I'm not going to do the full fight. I'm just going to kind of show how crazy some of this can get. Um, it'll be Neon versus Neon. Do. Ooh, yeah, that's what happens when I don't have the Soul Shield going on. Oh, that's what happened. Oh my gosh. It was the friggin'... Oh my gosh. The Dimension Bringer was getting me killed. Oh shoot. Oh, why did I do that? Oh crap. No. 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 Oh my gosh. So, um, yeah, we will take care of her next round. Stop punching yourself. Know when you're beaten. Oh, I thought she was going after me. Oh, I lost it. Yeah. No, yeah, for spoiler purposes, we're not going to keep going. Um, I will take the loot, though. Even though I think I already said something that's probably a spoiler. But we'll keep going. Um, and then we're going to run through maybe a rift or so just to see how it does in the rift because I realize I'm cherry picking on some of these. And now we are, yeah, field testing is important because I'm like, oh, conceptually, the Dimension Bringer is going to be great. And then I just effectively screw myself on those instead of letting the Dimension Bringer wear off. So we got the monsters. We got monsters like the Goblin, where we're taking the agility from the Goblin, and if we had Duelist and Thief leveled up, we'd get even more agility as well as Marksman, but we don't have them marked up. um, and then the Wolf also giving us agility, and the Samurai and would have given us more agility, and the break damage dealt would help, as well as we're going to swap out. So I haven't actually played the Rift with this build yet. Uh, Let me just make a little doobie doo. Sorry. Uh, we're not gonna actually take deep with us. We're going to swap out with Catastro, the behemoth, um, where we get that damage dealt to bosses, which is also break damage dealt, and then we got that. Most importantly, the combo ability stat bonus, that 60% kind of helping us out on the agility side. Still don't know what reduced stat bonuses is, despite the amount of friggin' days of research that I put on that thing and trying to go behind the scenes. Don't ask me what it is. Um, and then it's a matter of figuring out where do we want to get more power from. Now, if I absolutely had, you know what? Let's get Miss Prickles out here. Yeah, Miss Prickles. I'm gonna leave the cat out. Coral. I'm gonna leave Coral out for the increased monster quest efficiency because on this save I don't actually have stuff as high as I'd like. Even on my PlayStation save, it's not that high. Because I soloed the first 100 floors, so I didn't get any credit from my NPCs, and didn't learn about that until much later. And at that point, my will to play diminished. But let's keep going. So we are we haven't fed any of these our friends, but we have the goblin for the agility, the wolf for the agility, the behemoth for the stat bonus, combo ability stat bonus, uh, and then we have Curl just to help out with increased monster quest efficiency, but ultimately you would toss Coral out for some other thing that can help you in the future. I'm just kind of looking through real quick, make sure that there's no. Oh, uh, let's say that while you are progressing the Marlboro for the Soul Shield break cost, because you might not have all the gear to get to 100%. Same thing with the status ailment resistance. So just to kind of put my money where my mouth is. I am swapping out Miss Prickles for now, and then I'm leaving Quirrell in here. And then we got this dude. He's like, what? Oh crap! That's how long it's been. So let's make sure that we have all of our items identified and crap like that. Uh, do I have it? Yeah, that's good enough. And then we'll look at all bosses. Oh gosh, this looks horrible. Let's do it. Uh, so before we go in, at the bottom here, making sure that you drink your mega ethers so that you start with a full 6 bars of MP. And then your shop, making sure that you have your 3 Phoenix Downs so that you aren't completely caught off guard and that you have a chance to do this. And then just for giggle butts, we're going to check the survey log and see who's there. Um, I can't read either of their names, uh, but yeah, we are at what floor two. We're gonna work on it. By the end of these videos, if I'm serious about this, uh, you might see me at a higher floor, but not much higher, because I like the world map a lot more. So we're going in. We're gonna swap over to our monk first. Just for reference, let's check our stats. So, just being in the rift by itself, without even feeding our little beasts, we have 863 agility. But let's go, and just because it's a horrible, painful boss rush, we're gonna feed our beasts. I'm gonna put Serena out just temporarily, and I'm gonna feed our agility-based beasts. So the goblin, the harpy, the wolf, and the cactar, even though the cactar's not on the party. And ideally, I would just go through and feed every friggin' thing. Like, yeah, let's do it, let's do it. Even though this isn't agility that I'm feeding them. This is just whatever stat that they get. Because if you're ever doing a boss rush, um, it really helps. But now let's look at our stats. We have 900 agility, and then keeping in mind that Jed is passing 120 of that agility to us, and she's passing probably 100. 80, I can't math right now. So we're going in, monk first. We have to remember not to friggin' uh, dimension bringer right at the beginning. Worst case, I fail, and you all get to see that. Really long video, crap. We don't have time. Oh my gosh. So, we still get to engage the combat. Nothing too overpowered. Whoops. And we get to revive our friends because, I forgot to mention this earlier. Um, because they bring out 10% more HP and break gauge per friend. It would help if I actually... Uh-oh. Whoa. Okay. Let's get our buffs back up. Finish him off. Okay, so yeah. Spoilers, obviously. um, but we're not overpowered, and we have a chance to friggin' survive. Let's get Monk. Let's lock this. Did I mention how much I friggin' hate this boss? And why that's why we don't want the first phase to last? um, okay. And now we have a Phoenix cushion. A little safety net. We did get hit during all that though, but oh great. Whoops. Haha, shoot. Now they're both dead. Oh my gosh. Oops. Oh shoot. Okay, let's get our friends back up. What are we looking for? Sentinel. Provoke. Barrage. Oh, you know what I should have done? This. So yeah, it's taken a while. But to me, it's different. I'm not like super crazy friggin' powerful. Ooh, I love her. Oh my gosh, I should have let the dance play out longer. Oh well. Shoot. Oh well. Mm. Ooh, this is not a fun boss for an agility build. But we get to hold this. Ah, shoot. Shoot. I'm going to panic. Yeah. So we'll say that's a rough idea of how the build kind of plays out, giving you a chance to soul shield a little bit more, but a bit of a cushion in case you do get hit. Um, defeat all enemies. We're actually going to try to push to at least one floor just to make it a little bit. So, and this is in place of a stream. I'm still going to mark it up as a stream, even though it technically was not aired on anything. Come at me, bro. Oh, shoot. Not doing well. I forgot there's trials on. Ooh, I don't have... I've been running around without... Oops, didn't mean to fly away from them. Let's gradually get our buffs up. Shoot. Do you still... That was a big mistake. Let's get Sentinel back up. I can't keep track of what's going on at the moment. Supercharge wore off. Get that Guardian. Jed, no! Where are you, Jed? Barrage wore off, so I'm not getting hit often enough. So hit me. No, hit me. Oh well. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. This dude. Oh, shoot, shoot, shoot. No. That rapid fire is so dangerous. Okay. Sorry, Jed. Can you stand up? Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Are we... Yeah, we can go to the next floor. So, yeah, rough idea of how this sword fighter plays out. Um, and you get to kind of see me fumble through the whatever it is, the thing that I'm trying to say. I am forgetting one of the combo ability effects. What is that? What is the effect? Um, Swift slash, so hold. That's what I was doing. Rogetsu. Oh my gosh. So if I go back, then I zip forward, which is great, but that's not what I want. I'm gonna do the slash and soar. So yeah, the monsters they've already fallen off, and I could talk to them now, but I don't want to do that over the video. Um, so the first one I usually like to grab just like a single boss, where it says like, oh, it's you have 600 points, except that I crash or my laptop likes to overheat and crash. Laptop? Wait, what? No, but I'm going to put in a high ether, and I'm going to start off with a sentinel, and then an interception, and then I'm going to work my way up to the barrage and to the provoke and stuff like that, and to focus, because I don't have the setup to let me do more than that easily. So sentinel, get an interception. Let's get a barrage in there. Oh shoot. You jerk. Oh crap. Yeah. So we're not dead yet. Eh, I should have refreshed the sentinel. What is he doing? Ah! Whoa! No. Crap. Don't break me, bro. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I keep forgetting about the Dimension Bringer. The whole idea of this build was to lock him down for a big fat Dimension Bringer and just say F you. I keep forgetting. I keep friggin' forgetting. Stand. Stand. So now we have a little bit of a point cushion in case we crash, crash, or double crash. So we only need to crash twice and we lose everything on a new floor. That's all it takes. And while I still have builds that will let me prevail, it effectively doubles the time. So that's not fun for me. Unless I really enjoy the dance. And here I'm not fully dancing because I am field testing this in a video that we're, pardon me, uploading. So let's do a Mega Ether, and then we sneak in here. Maybe we'll go up to floor 210. Am I actually recording? What if I wasn't? Okay, I'm recording. It's okay. It's okay. What the? This loading is taking a little bit longer than I thought. Oh shoot. Attack me, Lobo. Huh, you're not dead. Impresso. There are no survivors? Okay, we keep going. I feel like round slash, not round slash, swift slash was nice. Ooh, shoot. Is there? I'm gonna get ambushed. I can feel it. Provoke, even though we're on the bad job for that. Who are you? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Do I actually have Monk? I just got friggin' slapped. This dude slaps. Crap. Didn't mean to get hit in the middle of all that crap. Bum 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 bum. Will we go to floor? Whatever floor that I think I'm trying to tell you about. Are we gonna go to that floor? Are we seriously gonna do this? Okay, let's see. Sentinel's good. Provoke. Barrage. Do the monk. Okay, good enough. Please be BK. I want revenge on you. Oh, shoot. Oh! Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. There are so many friggin' unblockable attacks. We would have been dead many times over. We would have been dead. Okay. Beep, 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 doo, doo. So yeah, we're not completely immortal. We will die. If we slip up a few times, but we'll call it, you get a cushion of about like a few slip-ups. I don't think we're going to go to the null void. I think this is, I think enough of a demonstration. I'm again, field testing it. I had an idea in my head. Tried it once before about a year ago while my stats were like super crazy low and kind of got discouraged. And then come to realize it was my stats. Dimension Bringer! Yay! Alright, we've completed this mission. Whoa, you jerk! Oh my gosh. Dude trying to kill me. Jed already dead. Can't hold anymore. Shoot. At some point, wasn't paying attention, and he broke through. Let's go through the portal. Get this enhanced. And then find a big gateway. Maybe we'll just do like, I don't know, 2 floors per build, and let me rephrase that. The video will be 2 floors. And then I might still play it offline. I say offline, but without the video. Yeah, I don't trust myself. Oh, I completely screwed up on that. Oh, you jerk. Who wants to go? This is just fine gateway, yeah? Waka waka, yeah? Oh, that was a little too fast. I'm kind of disappointed. So, when we go through this gateway, we're going to immediately try to drink a potion. Know what? F it. Let's just do Sentinel, Interception, see where the dice roll. Even though that might take a lot longer. And remember to use D-pad left and right, because I keep friggin' forgetting, and that makes the fight drag out a lot longer without my stat sticks. So D-pad left to right, Sentinel, get the interceptions going, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, did I mention spoilers? Waiting for that, like, attack that I can't. Oh, great. Oh! Let's regroup. Oh, crap. That's a dispel, isn't it, huh? Ah, crap. Yeah, I don't think I can take much of a risk. Ooh, that was pretty rough. But we're going to leave that in the video to show how unpracticed I am against said foe with this style. Or in general. Haha, return. That was scary. I died 3 times. But here's the thing. I have a video to see how much damage this guy hit me for. And then I could be like, oh, I'm so depressed. Um, to be fair, I am not built like a tank, even though I have all this defensive crap up. Oh, but we are going to restock our Phoenix Downs because that is our safety net. And even our Mega Elixir because I panicked there. I panicked very calmly. Notice I don't really mess with what's-his-face, Jerkwad over there. Gilgaman. So if I tweak this a bit more, get a little bit more MP cost Sentinel so that I actually can do Sentinel at the beginning and then Interception without triggering a thing without all my buffs. Like I can do this. And then I have to worry about the spell. Oh shoot. Whoops, oh my gosh, did not mean to do that. Oh, I can't soul shield? It's a powerful gust. Okay, I still have Sentinel, that's fine. Let's get the big guns out, let's charge. I should have waited. Whoops, I actually, oh crap. Oh, no! I love you! Okay, how long would this have lasted? So yeah, my turn the tide also gets me slain. I'm not going to mess with that only because I've crashed enough times to know I take my first set of points. It might be slower, but it's safer. But yeah, so that is the sword fighter, the monk. Um, like if I had a more time when I start up one of these fights. Why did I talk like I was ending? What time is it? It is time to end. Oh wait, I haven't updated my clock. Okay. Ideally, you would be feeding your monsters, talking to them, and we'll say like making sure that they give you the little crests. I'm sorry, not the crests. The memories. Memories. So that those memories will help you advance their jobs quicker, and even if your riff resets, that would help out. I couldn't tell you by how much. I keep seeing the number like point 0.3 going around, but I don't know. Um, and if I were more diligent, I would pull out the other monsters, talk to them too, pull out Serena, feed my friends, even though I should feed Serena too, and do all that, but I'm not that diligent anymore. Oh my gosh, there's a boss. Defeat all bosses, so juicy. It's probably a 5. Oh my gosh, I want to do it. But so help me if Mr. Dude is there again. You know what? We're not gonna go down like a punk. So we're gonna do Sentinel first, provoke, and man, battle teachings, enemy weakness. Oh, F you. Okay. I don't have barrage. Shoot. Let's get barrage, but we can't switch jobs. Super FU? Okay, let's try to get charge up to 4. Oh, it's already at 4. Oh. Ah. Oh, crap. Shoot. I need to get the barrage down. Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, crap. He has a lot of agility, so this makes it pretty hard to take him out quick. Barrage. Oh, shoot. I thought he was dead. He's undead. Okay. Um, pop a Dimension Bringer. Or are you gonna play nice? Oh! Not paying attention. Who are you going for? Okay, I feel like Barrage is wearing off too fast. I really thought Barrage... That doesn't feel like 30 seconds. Oh, not this jerk again. Oh, shoot. Oh, F you. Okay. Sophia. Who am I looking for? Oh. I'm just like running all over the place. Okay. Get this. Look at that nightmarish friggin' thing. I can't get rid of it. Oh, great. And he spawns right outside of it. It figures. It friggin' figures. Oh my gosh. Ah, oh, darn it, Sophia. I'm sorry. I don't have enough time to get the barrage going, do I? Oh, I do. Oh my goodness. Well, you, sir, are a jerk. Uh-oh. Oh, thank you, Jed. Jed, I'm not gonna say, Mr. Saab, don't tell anyone. Jed, I love you. Okay, let's do this. Oh, here's a fun little glitch. Oh, it didn't work. I'm trying to, like, Dimension Bringer out of this. Ah, darn. It doesn't work anymore. Or maybe I screwed up. It's, the brown pants, video. Maybe I need to be lunatic. Or sylph. Okay, but yeah. I'm going to stop the recording because I think I've annoyed everyone enough. Yeah. Swordfighter stuff. If you do have questions, I tend to do a little bit better on the Discord if you ping me, or even the Reddit. Holy friggin' cow, 90 minutes. 90. 9.5. Nobody's gonna watch this, which is fine, uh, because I can remember what I was doing and how it felt, and I enjoyed this, even though I played a little too safe in the rift and don't experiment. Um, Nimble maneuver probably could be in a better spot. But yeah, we'll stop recording.